Alright, last Leprechaun review for the day. Leprechaun 3. And again, we have the change in the continuity. The Leprechaun just arrives as a stone statue with this necklace around his neck. This guy's trying to get rid of it because he says it's bad luck. And there's a pot of gold, but he says don't touch the gold. He's at this pawn shop, he gives it away, and he leaves. And so this pawn shop owner, he takes the necklace off of the Leprechaun, and the Leprechaun comes back to life. This necklace makes an appearance, I think, in future installments, except for Origins and Returns, of course, because I don't follow that. So now this necklace is something that he fears, and in this one, now his weakness is his own gold. Because now if you destroy the gold, you destroy the Leprechaun. Why introduce the necklace? I figured it would end with him putting the necklace on top of him and putting him back in stone again, but no. No. Our protagonist this time is Scott, and he meets a performer. This takes place in Vegas, by the way. He meets a performer. She's like an assistant to Fazio, not the bear. He's a magician, terrible magician. She works at this casino, and Scott takes her there. And apparently he's underage, even though he looks 25. I don't know. Scott is played by John Gattens, who has directed and written many movies, none of which I can off the top of my head, but he has done movies before. Written, directed movies as well. He's had cameos in some movies, I guess. But this one is childish, now that I think about it. So, Scott decides he's going to gamble. He loses everything. And so he has one thing, a watch that his father gave him. And so he goes to the pawn shop across the street where he finds the pot of gold, the 1 shilling, and he wishes that he was, he sees on the screen, oh, you make a wish. You get, you wish he was back at the casino on a hot streak, and boom, there he is. And now this coin becomes a MacGuffin throughout the film. Because from here, it goes to Mitch, who uses it to seduce the lead female, whose name I can't remember. And then Mitch is he's the owner of the casino, by the way. He's a sleazeball, and he's got these 2 guys that are like strong-arming him for money. One's like a mob boss guy, and the other one's his muscle, who wears a Hawaiian shirt. And they talk about underwear, boxers and briefs. I don't know. I just remember that the version of this, there's a scene, right, where he wishes that the lady is his love slave, basically. So she starts doing this dance, and then Caroline Williams' character comes in, steals the coin, and as she's about to take her, as the girl's about to take her top off, it wears off, and she freaks out. And she kicks him in the balls, and then gets fired. Because she wouldn't cooperate. That's not legal, man. You fire your employee because she wouldn't fuck you. She can go to whoever runs the commission for that, right? She can go whoever's in charge, like who owns the building. And I'm sure he operates it, but someone's got to own the building. Somebody's got to be in charge of Mitch, and she can tell them that he was basically extorting her for sex to keep her job. And when she wouldn't do it, she got fired. She could, run the lengths, find someone, call the police, do something to get this, I know it doesn't make, it doesn't, you don't need to worry about it in the context of the story, but, so what happens is then this chick shows up on the TV, tits are plopped out. Sorry, and in the TV version air on Sci-Fi, they just blur it out, the nipples. So you can still see the tits, but you blur the nipples. And I remember I was watching it one day and at my grandma's house, and she walked in and she goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Turn it." I'm like, "What? You can't see nothing." Because my mom always said, like, there's a heart-related Yu-Gi-Oh card. My mom always said, "You can't see the nipples. It's fine." But my grandma freaked out. I don't know. It was on TV. A lot of stuff was cut out, but there's that. And the Leprechaun's on the TV the whole time, switching between infomercials, saying, basically tell Mitch he's going to die, and then of course he does. And then the two thugs walk in and see this happen, and then they die. Yeah. And there's a part where Scott is fighting with Leprechaun. Leprechaun bites him. So now Scott is turning into a Leprechaun, something we've never seen before. What? Then the Leprechaun scratched Jennifer Aniston in the first one. So shouldn't she have turned into a vampire? A Leprechaun? I know it's different, a bite and a scratch, but, you know, I'm just saying. And he, you know, chomped through Morty in the second one, so shouldn't Morty have turned into a leprechaun? You see that? That's okay, I'm a leprechaun now, you know. Also, I forgot to mention in the second one, Tony Cox has a cameo. You want me, gold? Good cameo in the second one, but this one, so the Leprechaun is known for speaking in rhymes. He does it all the time. I didn't mean for that to happen. But once Scott is bitten and he starts turning into Leprechaun, he starts doing the rhymes. He starts getting a love for potatoes and stuff like that. The Leprechaun sort of starts talking normal. And then when Scott shows up, he is speaking in rhymes. The Leprechaun is not. So my thought has always been, as Scott's turning more into a Leprechaun, maybe the Leprechaun's power is splitting and it's becoming less effective on Leprechaun as it is with, you know, Scott once it's transferring over. I don't know. But like I said, they defeated by torching his gold. Oh, also, I don't remember her name, but like Kellen Williams' character uses the coin to make herself look young again, and then Leprechaun shows up and makes her tits and ass and lips all goes out until they explode. And then Fazio wants to become the greatest magician until Leprechaun saws him in half. Again, he's twisting the rules of this thing, but he just wants his coin, which there is no other meaning for him in this. Where it's back to the kind of thing in the first one. The first one, he wanted his gold. Second one, he had a purpose. He wanted to marry. You know, he wanted to get married. He wanted to have a wife, kitties and stuff like that. But the gold got in the way. Here, all he wants is his gold, so it works. It's not working against him per se, because he wants the gold. That's all he's after here. And, you know, they torch the gold, and yeah, and they had the thing where they had the coin, and they say you can make one wish, and he goes, I got all I want. Because he's got the girl now. People have died. There's also a scene where he does an Elvis impersonation to the Leprechaun. Thank you. Like Roy Morris. With an Elvis impersonator, it's corny. I have to give, this is about on par with the second one. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's cheesy, it's corny, it makes more sense than the second one, but it still gets a 7 from me. So, what are your thoughts on Leprechaun 3? Let me know in the comments below. Like I said, my last Leprechaun review for the day, because I can binge watch the first three fine, but when you get to 4 and the hood ones, I gotta space those out. So eventually, I'll get to them. I promise, but it won't be like binge watching. It won't be one after another. To just keep that in mind. I also want to start working on another short-lived. So maybe possibly you'll get one of those. Not saying what it is, but you'll get one of those. So till then, like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the next one. The accent. Ta-da!